Welcome to the $100 MBA Show, and today is a Q&A Weekends episode where we answer your question right here on the show. If you have a question you want to ask, just email us at contact@100mba.net, or you can send me a tweet on Twitter. BIZRepublic is my handle, BIZRepublic. As always, I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today's question comes from Carey. And Carey asks, how long should I expect it will take to be profitable? The golden question, the question that a lot of people ask when they first get started. I'm going to give you my take on this question, my insights, my advice, and give you some particular advice or some specific advice on the kind of mindset you should have when it comes to this question, when it comes to understanding what profitability really means and how to get there as soon as possible. We get into all the details in today's episode, so let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Heroic Public Speaking, the #1 live training event for public speakers. When I say public speakers, I'm not talking about just on stage. I'm talking about on your videos, on a podcast, when you're being interviewed, when you're negotiating with a client, when you're on a webinar. Being able to communicate the value you offer will greatly impact the success of your business. So invest in yourself and head on over to Heroic Public Speaking on February 15, 16, and 17 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. To get your deeply discounted ticket, head on over to 100mba.net/speaking, and we'll see you there. So Carey asks, how long should I expect it will take to be profitable? What should Carey plan for? And I know no one likes to hear the answer to a question like this as, it depends. Well, it actually really does, and that's the answer. It depends on the kind of business you have. It depends on your expenses, your ongoing expenses and your initial expenses, your setup costs. It depends on what you're trying to do in your first year. What are your goals? Do you have investors? Are you working with your own capital? And by the way, the latter, working with your own capital, has been proven to be easier to get profitable sooner. In fact, most venture-backed startups are not profitable until their third year. That means they go 2 years without making a profit. That sounds crazy, I know. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that they have huge expenses. And you can get profitable as soon as possible if your expenses are low. Let's give a simple example. Let's say, for example, it costs you $500 every single month to run your business. And your setup cost was another $500. So in total, your first month plus your setup cost is $1,000. If after your first month you made $1,000.01, your business is profitable. You've covered your initial investment and your ongoing expenses. Now I know 1 cent is not a great profit, but if next month you made the same amount of money in sales, you'd be $500.01 profitable because you don't have to cover your initial expenses anymore. That's covered from the first month. Now you just got to cover your ongoing expenses. Then from there on in, the sky's the limit. Now I give this simple example because you could see with a low cost, with a low overhead of $500, it's a lot easier to be profitable. So if you have a limited runway, if you have a limited amount of time before you run out of your own personal savings to live off, and you're asking yourself, how long will it take for my business to be profitable where I can actually take home some money? Then I implore you to take a look at your expenses and lower them. I'm obviously talking about your ongoing business expenses. And of course, your initial costs, your initial investment into your business. This is particularly important if you have a physical business, a restaurant, a yoga studio, a clothing shop. There are a lot of initial expenses that you're going to have to put into there. How can you keep it minimal? A lot of boutique startup clothing stores don't have mannequins because if you've ever worked in clothing, you know that mannequins are expensive. I know it sounds crazy, but I know that firsthand by having a clothing line myself in the past. Instead, what they do is they commission a photographer for a day to take thousands of photos of their own staff modeling their clothes. And it's pretty cool because you'll see a staff member posing, wearing the clothes, and they walk in and they see the staff member right there. They're like, hey, I just saw you in the poster. And it's a cool, fun way to display your brand. And it also shows that, hey, our clothes are for real people, not just models. And that's a great investment because you can use those photos on your website, on all your marketing materials, and you can blow them up and put them as posters in the windows of your store. So get innovative at lowering your expenses. If you're an online business, your biggest investment is going to be your time. It takes time to build the content you need and become a voice, to become an authority in your market. So it's going to take you a little bit more time to be as profitable as you like to be online. If you're in the services, I highly recommend you create products out of your services, bundle them up, and see if you can have some sort of ongoing membership or ongoing costs. So if you're designing websites, don't just design the website and then just forget about it. Tell them that you'll maintain their website and do their hosting and everything and become their IT manager for a cost every single month. For many businesses, this is not a huge expense. And it's good to know they can call upon a person if they have any questions or they want to make any updates to their website. So not only think of innovative ways to lower your expenses, but think of innovative ways to create more sales and to have ongoing sales to cover your ongoing expenses. I've built many different kinds of businesses. I've had physical products, I've had online courses, software, and I continue to sell these products. And every business took a certain amount of time to be profitable. Now remember, just because you're profitable now doesn't mean you'll always be profitable. Your expenses might go up. You may need to reinvest in your business to stay competitive. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're always putting money aside for a rainy day if you're profitable now. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. Business is a competitive world and you always got to be ahead of the game. You got to be ahead of the pack. This is something I'm learning and very passionate about when it comes to Webinar Ninja, something that we're doing right now. I'm passionate about making it the best software possible. And I'm aware of the fact that I have competitors. And I got to be very innovative and on top of the game, making sure that I'm always one step ahead. And that costs money. That costs time. So I got to factor in all those costs when it comes to my prices, when it comes to my salaries, when it comes to running the whole business. Reinvestment in innovation is a cost. So keep that in mind in the long run. Guys, I got more on today's topic, but before that, I got to give love to today's sponsor, Heroic Public Speaking. If you're looking to be a better speaker on video, on a podcast, in a negotiation, meeting people at an event, at networking events, on a webinar, you need to go to Heroic Public Speaking. They guarantee 100% that you'll become a better speaker. And on February 15, 16, 17, they're running a live training event that will change your business and your life. I know this firsthand because I attended Heroic Public Speaking last year. I had the honor of speaking last year, and this year I'm going to be attending it again because it's that powerful. Communication is the mother of all skills when it comes to business, so become a better communicator. Get your heavily discounted ticket over at 100mba.net/speaking. And when you check out, forward your receipt to support@businessrepublic.net, and we're going to hook you up with a bonus. The founders of Heroic Public Speaking, Michael and Amy Port, created a great masterclass on on-camera presence with webinars. And they did it just for us, and it's going to be yours as a special bonus. Again, go to 100mba.net/speaking to get your discounted ticket and get this bonus. I hope to see you guys there. To wrap up today's question and today's lesson, I want to get really practical here. In order to find out how long it's going to take for you to be profitable, you got to do the math. Open up an Excel sheet or a Sheets document in Google Drive. Everybody who has a Gmail account has access to this. And do the math. What are your ongoing expenses? What were your initial expenses? Write them down. How much money do you need to make to be profitable? How much money have you made last month? Are there any trends? The month before that? What's the increase every month? Then you can find out roughly how long it's going to take for you to be profitable. Once you've done that math, you can take a look at your expenses. Can you lower your expenses in any way? Once you change that number, the expenses number, how long it's going to take for you to be profitable is going to decrease. It's going to take you a short amount of time. That's why I love doing it in a spreadsheet, because when you change the variables, the formulas take care of themselves. All right, guys, I hope that helps. I hope you loved today's episode. Guys, if you're just getting started, I want you to check out our free course on idea validation. It's completely free. It's our most popular course inside the $100 MBA, and we want you to dig into it. It's going to make sure you nail your business idea. Go to 100mba.net/free-course. You get a free workbook along with it that goes with the video course, and you can ask questions anytime. We want to see you guys win. So go ahead and dig into the course. All right, guys, that wraps up today's lesson. Before I go, I want to leave you with this. Sometimes just doing the numbers can make you feel better. You at least know what you're dealing with. You know what you have to do. You know what you're up against. So that's why I really encourage you to open up a spreadsheet and put the numbers down so they're in front of you, and you can always refer to them. This goes also for your prices. If you need to increase your prices to stay profitable or to be more profitable, then pop up a spreadsheet for that. By increasing your price for this product by $5 or $10, how much more profitable would you be? I know spreadsheets don't seem like a lot of fun, but they can be a huge stress reliever when you have the numbers right in front of you. And you can work out the math, what you need to do to make it happen. All right, guys, I hope that helps, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode, our next Q&A weekend episode. I'll see you then. Take care.